My name is Yana. I went to school for psychology and marketing. In Taiwan, I teach math and science usually. Sometimes I teach English on today and one other day a week. Yeah. So, what's your name?
My name is Eva.
Eva? What do you study?
Film and TV design.
Film and TV design. Okay. What year are you in?
2.
Second year. Why did you choose film and TV design?
Interesting.
You think it's interesting? Okay. Cool. Thanks. What's your name?
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn. And what do you study?
Film and television design.
Same thing. Okay. And why did you choose film and TV design?
Because I like to watch some movies.
Okay. So you want to make movies sometime in the future. What's your favorite movie? Is it an action movie, a romance movie? What kind of movies do you like?
I don't know what kind of movies. I like a lot.
Alright. What kind of movies do you hate?
Hate. Marvel.
Really? Interesting. Okay. Maybe I can ask you about that later. I have more questions. But what's your name?
Oma.
Uma.
Oma.
Oma. Okay. Hi, Oma. What do you study? What's your area of study? What do you study? Same thing. Are you all in film and TV design? Oh, okay. And you're all second year?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take classes together. I see. Okay. Why did you choose film and TV design?
Like watch a movie.
You like watching movies? Okay. So what movies do you like?
Crazy Rich Asian.
Okay. So like romantic and drama films. Okay. Is that the kind of movie you want to make?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Thanks. What's your name?
Mandy.
Wendy?
Mandy.
Mandy.
Yeah.
Okay. And why did you choose film?
What movie should I television? Oh.
Be different. Say, I hate movies. I'm just kidding.
I like movie.
Yeah, okay. And what movies do you like to watch? Or what movies do you want to make in the future?
I don't know.
Okay, so the video today is a little bit different. It's about philosophy. Do you guys know what philosophy is? Philosophy is the study of thinking and asking questions, right? So what philosophers do is they ask big questions about life and truth and many different things. So there's a TV show from the UK called A Guide to Happiness. It's about using philosophy to answer big questions about life today. So in this episode, he's talking about a philosopher called Epicurus. Maybe you know his Chinese name. Do you know him? Any idea? Yeah, anyways. This is, so this is ancient Greece. He was a famous philosopher from ancient Greece, and he had some interesting ideas about how to be happy in life. Okay, so this is an episode from this TV show. It's just one guy. He graduated from Oxford University with philosophy, and now he's like a TV person. And so he's just going around a country and talking to people and discussing the ideas of this philosopher. From time to time, I'm going to stop the video and just talk to you guys and make sure that you understand what's happening. And yeah, we'll watch it until the end. And then after the video, we'll talk about what we saw, maybe discuss some of the things in the video, and then there's activities afterwards. All right, like that.
Ever since ancient times, human beings have looked to philosophy for the secret of happiness. But few philosophers have come up with more suggestive or more relevant answers than one born on the Greek island of Samos, off the coast of modern Turkey, 341 years before the birth of Christ. His name was Epicurus. Very little about him has survived. All of his books have been lost across the centuries, leaving his philosophy of happiness to be reconstructed from just a few fragments. Epicurus believed that we could all find a way to be happy. The problem was, quite simply, that we were looking in the wrong place. Unlike many philosophers, Epicurus' idea of happiness actually sounds rather fun. He didn't think we should feel guilty about wanting to have a pleasurable, enjoyable life, and promised that he could show us how to. Of course, you might wonder why you need a philosopher at all to teach you how to have a good time.
We seem to think that the key to happiness is really pretty easy. It's all about having a lot of money. So we can come to places like this and go shopping.
But before we reach for our wallets, Epicurus wanted us to stop and think. It's easy to imagine that money can solve everything, but can it? Epicurus was committed to a life of happiness. He liked sex, laughter and beauty, but crucially spent his time pointing out that happiness is in fact rather a tricky issue. And a philosopher might help you to find it more easily than a credit card ever could. That Epicurus was in favour of pleasure at all shocked many of his ancient Greek contemporaries. His philosophy became synonymous with a lotus-eating lifestyle. To this day, people who love luxurious eating and drinking can sometimes be described as Epicurean. In fact, that's a complete misunderstanding.
Epicurus said that pleasure was the most important thing in life, and yet if we actually look at the way that he lived, it seemed he led far from a luxurious life. His house was very simple, his clothes were extremely basic, he always drank water rather than wine, he found fish much too expensive, and he was happy just eating meals with bread, vegetables and a few olives. And he once asked a friend, "Send me a pot of cheese so that I can have a feast whenever I like." These were the kinds of tastes of a man who described pleasure as the end of life.
At the heart of Epicurus' philosophy is a simple thought, that we aren't very good at knowing what will make us happy. Though we may feel powerfully drawn towards material things and be convinced that they are what we require to be happy, we're often wrong. what we want is not always what we need, and nothing shows that up more starkly than our impulse to go shopping.
I like shopping. Most weeks it's just a couple of bags up to, I don't know, sometimes like 10, 12 bags, something like that. I like designer names. Dolce & Gabbana stuff, Louise clothes, DKNY, and I love Gucci clothes as well.
Stephen Perry is a hairdresser from Liverpool who spends all his spare time shopping.
I suppose like it could resist, but usually I don't. Usually it's just like going and shop anyway. Although when I go out buying all this stuff, it makes me happy. At the end of the month when the credit card and the store card bills and the loan repayments come out and stuff like that, then that doesn't make me happy because I see how much is going out every month on that.
So you dress a sports watch thing, tag out?
Yeah, this word, 89.
How many watches have you got?
This one?
Not really that many, it's probably about 10.
You've only got 10 watches?
Only 10.
I've only got one. What's the one you're wearing there?
We're in a spoon watch at the minute. Because I like this just for general everyday. Because it's only like £99, so
That's nice.
Stephen often gets into debt, and I couldn't help wondering if his desire to go shopping might be a bit out of control.
Everyday watch. What's the fancy watch?
the £1,000 type watch.
Oh God, that's amazing. So what's the craziest thing you've bought in terms of like bad impulse buying?
A pair of shorts.
From where?
From a shopping mall in Liverpool. These actually, they didn't have my size, so I thought, right, these will fit me. But you put them on and they just tend to look like truly horrendous. Like cycling shorts sort of thing.
How much did they cost?
God. I think they were about £50, 50, 60 quid, something like that. They were never taken back.
Do you guys know how much 50 pounds is in Taiwanese dollars? I don't remember. Okay, let me check. It's the conversion rate is quite high. The pound is more expensive than the dollar, the US dollar. So, how much is it? GBP. So 60 pounds in Taiwanese dollars. That is 2,000, around 2,000 NT. Yeah, so 2,000. That's around T. So he paid 2,000 NT for shorts that he can't wear because they are too small. Okay, just making sure.
The same as these jeans, and these are still got the labels on. Because they just got these and they were like, they miles too long, miles too big. I did mean to take them back, but I don't like taking things back. Yeah, I like them.
Would you ever get home and you think, you're surrounded by shopping bags and you're thinking, God, it's all a bit, what am I going to do with all this?
Yeah, I mean, especially like you come home and you've just got bags everywhere and you just, why have I spent all that? And then the credit card bill comes at the end of the month and you think, why did I spend all that sort of thing?
In a way,